Bow down before my psycho power.
You know what the crazy part about all this is? I did a poll. Will the boycott change the direction of Tekken 8? 15,000 votes. 66% of the players think that this boycott will have no effect. I think that they're doing a lot of simplification for two main reasons. One, they want that Japanese audience bad. We see what it's doing for Street Fighter, right? And also the second thing that I was going to say is Switch players. Switch 2 releases later this year, and it's an audience that haven't had access to Tekken. I think they're trying to gear up the game for those players.
They literally killed Tekken, bro. With that update, bro.
Give me motion sickness.
How they kill Tekken with an update?
Tekken released their season 2 the same month as Marvel's Rivals. That's like if Marvel's Rivals killed their game with season 2 update. People would be like, what? Like, what happened? Like, I thought they were releasing Emma Frost's Thighs and it was supposed to save the world and unite us all in harmony. What happened? Like, that's literally Anna. Anna's Thighs was supposed to save Tekken 8. What happened?
Bro, like they tried to make the game more balanced and shit, right? And they gave like every character got like a few new moves and shit, right? First of all, my character is like done. They hold the fuck out of Lee. Lee's probably like he probably the sorriest nigga on the game now. Like niggas be falling out of his combos and shit. And I think like
the nigga you playing?
Yes, bro. He's hold. There's a lot of niggas that's hold. They buff Brian, bro.
Why would you buff Brian? That little bitch ass nigga already buffed.
And hey, Jack is like he's a cheater, bro.
Isn't Brian already good as hell?
Yes, he was already a top nigga. And Jen got a buff too. Tekken, bro, please update that bitch and change it back, bro. Y'all niggas can do that.
We looked the other day on Google what games have reverted updates, and the most recent one was Black Ops 6. It says, yes, video game updates have been reverted, particularly when they cause significant issues or widely unpopular. For example, Treyarch has addressed mistakes with recent updates to Black Ops 6 Zombies. Players asking for Tekken to do it doesn't seem that far off. And with RDC World, with Arsenal and Ash, FDX, Main Man, all of the top content creators you could think of voicing their like frustration with the game, I think it speaks volumes. Hey, thanks for the 10 gifted. I appreciate that, bro. Arsenal and Ash. I played Tekken today, and there wasn't a single round where I didn't curse the game. It's just too bad and stressful. Kakoma says, first time I had an upset stomach, and whoa, what? Bro said season 2 is so bad it made him throw up. This game is really dangerous. It's dangerous. He says, I'm serious, no joking. But this is John Ding. I was stressed by Tekken, but I relieved my stress by exercising. Now I'm going to play Tekken again.
Your name is Rip. Rip Fire. You are from NA, playing all the shitters in NA. And you have been learning Tekken for your whole life since 1941, whenever he was fucking born. And he's been learning while standing for back forward. While standing for back forward. While standing for back forward. He's been learning this shit. And now, Tekken 8 comes out. It's no longer while standing for back forward. It's just while standing for forward. And now, you can't even do while standing for forward anything. You can't even get 3+4. You can't get DSS forward 1. What the fuck do you even get?
How did they ruin Law? How did they ruin Steve Fox and Lee? This update is so bad on so many different levels. It's crazy from a game design, from a developer design, from a fighting game standpoint. What?
It just whiffed. It just whiffed. No backdash, no nothing. They're not gonna want to revert it. They're gonna be, no, but I worked really hard on this. But I don't give a fuck you worked hard on this. It's shit, man. Delete it. Delete it. Delete all of it. I don't care.
Look at FDX. So this is the solution for what should happen. And I agree. So step 1, you revert the season 2 patch and you go back to season 1. And then you add in Anna to that season 1 patch, but then also add the season 2 sidestepping and throw break changes into the season 1 patch. We'll call it season X. And then you also got to balance Anna because Anna's pretty crazy. If you put her in that game, she's going to be very wild. So you have to balance Anna and do it all before May 9th. And then around the time of Evo, maybe after, you do another big update. Let's call it X2. You do a season X2 update where you make the game what season 2 should have been. You know what I saw? I saw someone who said something crazy. I'm going off memory, so it's not going to be word for word. But the person said, you guys should be fearful of the emergency patch because if they go ahead and emergency patch the game, it's basically a confirmation of them not reverting the patch, right? Because if you're going to revert the patch, why would you emergency patch it? So the person was saying that we better hope that all of the downtime that's currently happening, right, is because they're going to revert the patch and not them working on the emergency patch. It's from February. So what is this about? Oh, wow. What is this? While 99% of fans are welcoming, there will always be people like you. I understand and sympathize that this may not suit your personal taste, but if you prefer old design past works already exist, I'm not taking those away from you. So what is he talking about? Oh, this is the anime who was upset about Anna's new design. That's what this was, right? And this person says, saying past works already exists when you haven't released one of your older games in modern systems with functional netcode is a joke, man. Harada says, thank you for your pointless reply. You yourself are a useless joke. It's funny how a couple of months change player perspective. If Harada tweeted this in response to this tweet now, he would get scorched for it. But back then, when everyone loved the devs and they loved Tekken 8 and they had so much faith, they were able to do tweets like this and get away with it. 6,000 likes. People probably looked at this and laughed like, Harada.
If they would announce a Tekken Remaster collection, no one would even bother to play Tekken 8. Talk about sleeping on a gold mine.
Funny thing about Harada is that he doesn't want to do a remake. Harada doesn't think there's much interest in a classic Tekken collection. Summary, Harada doesn't think a Tekken collection would work. He argues 3D fighters age worse than 2D fighters, both visually and mechanically. Instead, he feels 3D fighting game fans gravitate towards newer releases rather than revisiting classic. I have another example, right? They say, how about adding no rage arts, no heat mode will be popular with people who don't need gauges in Tekken. You can see them doing the little uwu emojis. This person's having a great time. Now look at Harada's response to this person. And his response is, if you want no heat so much, go play an older Tekken. And then he says 1 through 7. But here's the twist. None of the older Tekkens besides 7 and Tag 2 in some variations are available to play. I would love to go play Tekken 5 Harada. How about you put it on the PlayStation Store? Please. Oh, on the topic of older Tekkens, Tekken 6.0 Arcade is now properly emulated and available. But then also is that there is a Discord dedicated to Tekken 3 online. If you have a PC, you have options. As you can see, players are working hard. If the Harada doesn't want to deliver the old Tekken games, the players are doing it themselves. Players are doing a lot of reflecting. This is Inconsiderate Raccoon who says, man, and he's quoting himself. This was a tweet he made back on April 30th, 2024. Good patch. Can't wait for the defensive patch. And this is responded to Michael Murray who says, I would pay for Twitter if there was an option to just block the trolls before they even get started. As is, I don't see the value in most of these interactions on here. You have something important to say, catch me at an event. Hybuff Giga says, character unique weaknesses in older games from what I remember. Asuka, worst 10 frame punish in the game. Jin, all his lows are at least minus 13. Eddie, worst sidestep. Anna, weak block punish. Alyssa, bad wall carry, wall combo. Brian, weak while rising punish. Harang, no while rising launcher. Dragunov, weak hitbox and mid attack. King, weak lows. Zhao Yoshi, weak combo damage. Now, if you think about Tekken 8, for your character specifically, if it's named here, have these weaknesses been patched out? For Yoshimitsu and Zhao Yu, definitely. Even though they tried to nerf Yoshimitsu in Season 2 and bring his combo damage down, Yoshimitsus have found a way to still get that damage, especially if walls are involved, right? And even with some of these other characters, I'm not too familiar with everyone, like that, the details of it, but with Eddie, you know, they buffed his sidestepping. At the time, it was like, yeah, Eddie can finally sidestep. But we didn't see what they were actually doing. We celebrated that because it was like, it was a meme that he couldn't do that. Like the Bears can't do it. The Jack can't do it. But like if all of a sudden, if they could start doing it, major weaknesses being patched out, it really changes the characters on a fundamental level. You're not supposed to do that. Players are really taking the time to really understand what's happening. But also, Inconsiderate Raccoon brings up a good point. He responds to it and says, I'll be real, some of these should not be weaknesses. Like the Dragunov one sounds like a horrible weakness to have. That's not even a weakness, just a character exploit because they seem uncompleted type of thing. And it's something that you also got to talk about is that not every weakness should remain. Some things are horrible flaws that should be fixed. And that's the balancing between it is like, what is the character's identity and something for the players to find creative ways to overcome? And what is something that is a hindrance and is like so detrimental? And you can argue whether or not the sidestep for Eddie is or is not one of those things. And consider it as bringing up Dragunov, which I don't think I'm knowledgeable enough to talk about. Yeah, it's definitely a balancing act. Look at this. So this was a video from February 2nd. Harada showed his phone. Text in Japanese says, Nina nerf confirmed. Rangchu responds to this. You see what I mean when I say the players are reflecting on so many different moments? People are going back to tweets from February. Some people going back to April. Some people going back, or not April, September. Some going back to November. Some going back to Tekken 7. There's a lot of reflecting happening here. And I hope the developers are doing that themselves. That's the only way it gets better. The only way this gets better if the developers reflect. If they don't reflect and if they just say, the players upset once again, and that's their takeaway, we're screwed. Not only we're screwed, but Tekken is screwed. Blackheart says, Tekken team's radio silence is honestly astonishing. No news since the emergency patch announcement. No reassurance. Nothing. Just emptiness. Dark times indeed for all Tekken fans. We got 14 entrants only for Tekken 8. Been averaging around 30 to 40 entrances every month before Season 2. Imagine TOing for 2 decades and giving it your all only for your monthly to get these numbers. The community doesn't deserve this. Been almost 2 weeks and haven't seen any Season 2 tier list. The sky is truly falling. The past few Tekkens are for casuals. Namco is after the back. We'll see. Tekken 3 is for casuals. Tekken 5 is for casuals. Tekken 4, every Tekken is for casuals. When you first showed up to Tekken, you were a casual. You were brought into Tekken because of the casual nature, and you had fun with it because of the casual nature. The thing is, it's been corrupted. The way that I would describe it is that in past games, they made it fun for casual players by adding in customization, adding in game modes, adding in unique characters who have like interesting gameplay that you can experiment with. And all of those different things is for casuals. But the shift is that in the past where they made the games for casuals, game modes, customization, etc., right? Everything I just listed. But now they're making a game to carry the casual. They're making a game for the casuals to be stronger and dominant and beat veteran players. That is the issue. It went from making it for casuals to now let's make the casuals win. That's what didn't exist. Like, for example, before the update came out, when they were talking about all of the rank changes, Arsenal Ash said that he doesn't care about ranked. He was like, I don't care about all the rank changes and whatnot. Like, good for you guys. That's the difference between casuals. Like, bro, like a lot of us think we're not casuals just because we're good at the game. Like, I'm a casuals Marvel's Rivals player, but the previous season I was Grandmaster. So it's like, you could be good at the game and still a casual. That's not the point. Skill is not the issue. And I think Tekken players kind of get lost in that from time to time. They think once they become a certain skill at the game that they're no longer a casual. You stop being a casual when you don't care about game mode, story, you don't care about, character lore, you don't care about, special intros, customization. That's when you stop being a casual and you start being something else. And I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying casuals like those things. I don't know if that made sense or not, but 125 viewers on YouTube. Wow. Well done on the new subscribers, Moon. Thank you. That's how many people's watching right now. Yeah, there's definitely 125 people watching. Yeah, I appreciate all you guys for watching, and all the new subscribers and whatnot. I really don't talk about subscribers. You guys make sure you subscribe and like the stream and I don't know. I just be chilling. And the fact that you guys are here chilling as well, I appreciate it.